Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It podcast. We have a really exciting agenda and
an exciting guest. Spoiler alert, we already started this, but my mic wasn't on. But Zoe was like, we have a really exciting agenda. Anyways, moving on with the podcast. Hello, I'm here.
Jackie is here. And I was just telling them that I am going back to my streaming days of being sharing your screen, whatever. And I have some things that we want to share on the video. So if you're listening to this and you could be watching, you could switch over to a platform where it has the video, either Spotify or YouTube, so you can see what I'm sharing on the screen. Well, what Jackie's sharing on the screen. Mm-hmm. And I want Jackie, every time you're doing your job, because she's being like an actual good VA.
Weird.
Did that make it sound like you're not?
Let's see you be a VA.
I would be.
I'm serious. It's one of those roles. What's a role that's underappreciated?
Customer service.
Janitors. So serious.
Seriously.
Think about if there wasn't janitors, how disgusting going anywhere in public would be.
Yeah.
Because think about how gross already a Target bathroom is. And that's with a janitor cleaning it multiple times a day.
Yeah. So
being a VA is like being a janitor. Everybody thinks it's easy. It's not.
It's really not. And VAs
are... Not to make this about myself. But.
No, seriously. So VAs are super underappreciated because VAs do everything that either I can't find time to or I fucking hate doing. So yeah. You do a good job at it.
Thanks.
Yeah, so every time you're doing your job, I want you to say, "Hey, look at me. I'm doing my job."
Okay, I will.
Okay. So welcome back to Let's Laugh About It. Our first thing that I want to talk about today is actually something that we can hopefully laugh about already, but it's actually something that's ongoing with, you look surprised.
What are you going to say?
Oh, you know, I told you the show agenda. You're surprised?
Ooh. I guess your intro surprised me.
Okay. No, it's still going on today. So Caleb, he is the founder of Haven Athletics, which is a super cool brand. They take a gym, your typical gym bag and you can't find anything in it and it's super unorganized. His brand has a really organized, very, very satisfying gym bag. Actually, Jackie, you would love it. I don't know have I shown you it?
No.
Okay, so I'll have to show you it, but you would love it because you're very organized.
I love organization.
So it basically has compartments for everything you need in your gym bag. Because if you think about a typical gym bag, you just throw everything in one compartment. The Haven Athletic bags have compartments for everything. A shoe compartment, it's divided. It's very sturdy, so it doesn't fall in on everything. Mm-hmm. You don't have to you just know where everything is. So I'm actually going to try to FaceTime Caleb before I get too much into it because I want you to hear his side of the story.
I hope he ignores Zoe.
I hope he doesn't ignore me. We were in a group chat earlier. It was me, Jackie, and then Carly is randomly in there. And I was like, Caleb, I'm going to start the podcast around 5:15. If you're free, I'm going to try to FaceTime you. And Jackie literally responded saying, ignore her on live television.
Oh my God.
I was so dramatic because this isn't a freaking live television, but please don't ignore me.
So funny.
So let's see if he answers. Caleb's the founder of the brand. So I would love to have you guys tell him tell you about it. First, Jackie, do you want to do your job? You pull up the video. Okay, so he tweeted this video. But basically, I'll read the tweet. Boo, 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 boo. Are you can Okay, so the tweet said, yesterday, one of the main competitors in gym bags stole my voice, ran it through AI, and made an ad. And he said, pretty wild when a bunch of friends send you the same video asking what's up. I do a lot of our organic ad content, so my voice is part of the brand. Yes, this is illegal. Here's their ad, followed by me repeating the same thing. If anyone knows the founder at King Kong, can you tell them to knock it off?
At King Kong.
Okay, so play the ad.
But I'll turn it up. Ready? Everybody? Ready?
Jackie's doing her job.
1,
You're doing
2,
such a good job.
3.
I've been on the hunt for the gym bag, and I finally found it.
I've been on the hunt for the gym bag, and I finally found it.
I've been on the hunt for the gym bag, and I finally found it. I've been on the hunt for the gym bag, and I finally found it. I've been on the hunt for the gym bag.
Which one is his ad?
His is the second one. So if you want to like pause
and I
it
finally
and show
found it.
like
I've been on the hunt
his. Okay, so his is on the right side. Oops, sorry, my microphone. His is on the right side. You can see it's like that really satisfying, like organized bag. And then, so this is like his actual ad. And then on the left side is like a typical gym bag. But the gym bag that let's FaceTime him. You know what? Let's see if we could FaceTime the owner and see if he answers.
Oh, hey. No, he ignored it.
No.
What's up?
Hey, Caleb, say hi to the podcast.
Hi, podcast.
So we were just talking about your ad AI story and wanted to hear your perspective from it.
Cool. The story. So I'm getting off the plane in LA last week, and someone sends me an Instagram. A friend sends me an Instagram, and she's like, "Hey, this sounds like you. What the fuck?" And I was like, "Wow, that does sound like me. Like, that's pretty weird." And so I sent it to a bunch of friends because initially, like, my alarm bells are going off. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they 100% ripped my name off or my voice off. But I sent it to a bunch of friends, and they all listened to it, and they're like, no, 100%, that sounds just like you. And I'm like, okay, great. So the wild thing about it is it's like one of our kind of biggest competitors in the athletic bag space. They're a little bit older now. They've been around for like maybe 10 years. And ever since we started, they've been kind of ripping off our marketing. Like, we kind of focus on, like, mindset and focus and, like, organization, like, leads to these positive things. And they've started, like, kind of ripping off that language. And then earlier this year, they came out with kind of a pretty mediocre knockoff of our bag where it's, like, these inserts that you drop in, and they're just, like, really cheap. And, like, it's like a repurposed product I've seen for, like, organization for, like your closet or drawers or something.
Lame.
And so when that came out, a bunch of people sent it to us, and they were like, yo, what's this? It seems like crap. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And the thing that's weird is, like, I have no beef with this company. Like, bags and the whole market, like, it's freaking huge. Like, there's plenty of room for everyone to do their own thing. I'm like, okay, if you want to, like, rip us off and copy us, like, whatever. But then when I got this one, and it was my voice, and, like, everyone was like, no, this sounds a lot like your voice. I was like, okay, one step too far. Like, I'm pretty, like, brand-facing when it comes to Haven, like, telling people about discounts and sales and like story of like how we're building it and what we're doing or cool stuff that's happening. And it's like me, it's kind of like my voice, my energy, my like presence. I like try to be on there. Like a lot of our customers like know me, they get personal emails from me. And so that was just like one step too far where I was like, all right, it sure as shit sounds like you ran this through some like 11 Labs AI voice generator, copied my voice, and then created an ad that sounds just like me.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That is insane. And
yeah.
It's crazy. And when I saw it, I was like, I have to talk about the podcast. But the one thing, Caleb, I would love for you to like just touch on before I hang up on you or you hang up on me. That like you're not like, so the name of the podcast is Let's Laugh About It. You're not like taking this as like a loss. Like some people could like take this and be like, oh man, like they've been around forever, they're taking my voice now, and like literally like let it kill them. But you're just like looking at the positives of things and just like laughing about it, literally laughing about it.
Literally laughing about it. I mean, like in general, I try to be like pretty light with things like, you know, meditation, mindset, daily stoic, all that kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, if it happened, like I don't really have control outside of like my response. But then, yeah, I don't know. In my mind, it's kind of funny. It's like literally like y'all are so desperate you had to like literally rip off my voice. Like you couldn't be more creative than that. Like, okay, like
yeah, or just like use somebody else's voice.
That we're like the market leader here,
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really happy that you're like laughing about it. It looks like you're at like a pool party.
I'm at this house in Palm Springs with like 30 other health and fitness founders.
Oh, hell yeah.
Doing like a bunch of fitness stuff.
I love that. Well, I'll let you get back to your fitness stuff. Thank you so much, Caleb.
All right, yeah, no worries.
I'll talk to you later. Bye. I see in the background there's like girls walking around in bikinis and stuff.
That was literally like that was like your first guest.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him that. But there's kind of a lot to unpack here because like One, it was like perfect example of like literally let's laugh about it. Jackie, phenomenal job doing.
I got rid of it right when I should.
Phenomenal job. We will put like in the show notes, like the links to Caleb's things. I really think it is admirable that he's just like literally laughing about it. And just taking it for what it is, because the other thing about this is like, there's a lot of founders like building in public. And I would say that Caleb is doing just that on like YouTube. He might be on YouTube, but like on Twitter, a lot of like founders are building in public or LinkedIn and stuff. And so this is like part of his story. What's funny over there, Jackie?
Nothing. I've just got a plan.
Oh, Jackie's got a plan. So we'll put Caleb's information. One of the things that I wanted to share here too is that, there is a guy on, not to steal Jackie's thunder. Jackie, what's wrong?
I don't know. Something was about to happen. She's always trying to steal my thunder. It's so typical of her.
Jackie almost had a panic attack because I said steal.
I like almost had a stroke or something.
No, you did not.
Okay, that was dramatic. But like something weird happened for a second there.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Seriously, I do care about
Took you a long time to like ask. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So Rob, I don't know how to exactly say his last name. Freund, maybe? His Twitter, we'll put it in the show notes too, is Robert Freund Law. And he's a lawyer who like tweets about like marketing law. He retweeted Caleb's tweet and said a person's voice run through AI is still that person's voice and they still retain the right to control its commercial use. But with AI being like so new, there's not really a bunch of laws around like, yeah, there's probably like laws of it being like illegal, but like the outcomes of it.
No, yeah, it's always really interesting when something new happens.
But wait, sorry, before you go into it, I want to preface this. Jackie just graduated law school, so I was like, this will be really, so I wanted to give you that credibility before you talk about it. Jackie is like, has a doctorate in law, so let's hear what you have to say.
I am a doctor of law by trade.
Yeah, she is.
No, I was going to say it's, I mean, this is even just separately from that. It's so interesting when like new things happen. You'll see in like a few years, like there'll be like such a space in like law for it. Like AI is still so new. Like, I mean, I'm sure cases are obviously already being filed, but like in a couple of years from now, like I bet there will be so many. Like, for example, like I have worked a lot in asbestos law, and like right now and for the past, you know, like 10 whatever years, like asbestos law has been like such a thing because now the people who worked with asbestos like in the 70s and 60s and 50s and whatever, they're old now and they're getting sick. And it's just like so interesting, like how like it's always like this like trajectory of like a few years later, like and AI really has been a thing for a few years now, really. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and like what law comes out, or like what are the stipulations of like what gets passed and what's like allowed and what's not allowed, even with.
I think it should be, from like a legal perspective, I think it should be taken the same as like a person's likeness in the regular world. Like if you're gonna use my voice or like, you know, whatever,
like literally a video of me,
for AI purposes, like that's still me. And it sounds like it is being taken that way, so yeah, it should be.
And I was talking to someone about this and I was like, does every single person have a unique voice?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You think there's like people who sound exactly like each other?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I
like,
don't know. That's just like my guess. Because if you think about it, there's like you have a doppelganger somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's only so many versions of like a voice box or like a person's face there can be.
Yeah. So like what if they found, this is like going way far, but like what if they found someone who like sounded just like or I don't know, because like
what if an actual investigation happened, they would be able to like subpoena like the creation of that AI tool. So they'd be able to figure it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they could go through that like AI tool, see what they ran through there. Yeah. So those AI tools with the voices really should be used like you take your own voice. You don't feel like recording something. You put it into a AI thing. It says it into like, your voice. Yeah. We should do that for something.
Yeah. Mess around with it.
We should mess around with it. Anyways, I think that this is just like again, something Caleb can laugh about it now. And I was like, this is like such an interesting story to tell on the podcast.
I'm sure there's got to be already a lot about using somebody's voice for AI.
Yeah.
Like there's no way there's not.
He did tweet about it. Give me a second. I'll find about it. Cause he's been giving updates about it. Okay. So go ahead, Jack.
It's IP. Like it adheres to IP rights.
But he says that, the recourse is not really known.
Oh, that's probably true. Like, yeah. Like it's definitely illegal and that's known, but yeah.
Yeah. So he said, this is the update. This was...
So maybe we'll have a landmark case coming soon.
Maybe. What is the landmark case?
Sort of like something that starts the, like, standard.
And what if...
Like, the first, like, you know, like, home invasion case is a landmark case.
You think that Caleb could be the first one?
There's probably one before him.
I would love if he was the first one. That would be so cool.
But there's no way somebody hasn't already stolen somebody's voice for AI.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Or actually,
or maybe Caleb can be the first one who like really hammers it home.
Yeah, because some people don't really understand that you can do that, or they don't have the funds to do it,
or they don't know.
Yeah,
I bet a lot of people just don't even know that their voice was stolen.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he could quite possibly be the landmark.
Could be.
I would love if he was. Okay, so this was the update on October 19th, 2023, because I know a lot of you might be listening to this in 2027. Right, Jack?
Right.
So October 19th, 2023. Today is October 23rd, 2023. 150K plus views on that stolen ad and over 100 comments from people calling this out, confirming, yeah, dude, that sounds exactly like Caleb. Friends literally texting him asking if he's promoting another competitor. A full ad library was running a ton of ads with his voice. He said, yes, this is illegal, but the recourse is unknown right now in the new world of AI. Confirmation we're on the right path with this level copying. Insane. Literally insane.
That is insane.
And flattering.
Yeah. You love my voice? Not like me, just like if that was him, that's what I would say.
You think I'm skinny?
You think I'm skinny?
So very interesting. We'll have to keep you guys updated on like what actually happens if we're allowed to share it.
We'll keep you abreast.
Abreast. Jackie loves a breast. Okay.
I mean, not particularly.
Okay, this is like a random thing that I really wanted to talk about on the podcast. I had a cold email come to me and say, like, you know, typical, like, do you want to use our product, whatever. And this was a, like, data collection company as far as, like, showing you consumer insights. So, like, what people are saying about your brand. And the person was really nice and helpful and, like, was just trying to get some time on my calendar. But honestly, like, I have to be really selective, like, with my time on my calendar because I still have lots of work to do and, like, onboarding new tech, whatever. So I'm very selective, like, with what goes on my calendar. So if, I don't know, and especially Q4, it's, like, very, very, like, I don't know. The calendar's crazy. Yeah. So I have to be very selective. And I'm especially not, like, onboarding new tech or anything because it's just there's just too much going on. So I politely told that company and they said, oh, no worries. They said, oh, no worries. Let me send you some screenshots of like some insights that we gathered. And no like hate to this person at all. I just thought it was really funny because they sent me like 4 different screenshots of these consumer insights and a lot of it came from Twitter. And it was for Chomps. And it was right after the holiday party. And actually, like, it was actually the last, like, 90 days. But the consumer insights, like, 75% of them were my tweets. So it was like, here's what people are saying about you guys. And it was, like, all my tweets. And it literally says my name. And they're emailing me, like, showing my name. And I was like, there's no way that they didn't. And they did give like a list of journalists, I guess, that was like, but I don't recognize anyone's name. That's not saying they're not like good journalists or anything. I'm sure they're good. But like the other 75% of it.
Journalism's a farce. Hot take.
Whoa. You got more to say about that?
I don't know. I'm just going to drop that bomb and move on. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, it's a farce.
You could say that about podcasting, too.
You could say it about anything.
Anything.
But I just feel like sometimes, like, we read an article written by a journalist and we just, like, take it as fact. And it's like, what even are these journalist sources? You know how many articles I read and I don't see any sources cited by, like, reputable places? Yeah. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Well, that's the thing about when I was like, I was looking through these screenshots. I'm like,
say, what about journalism, Jackie? No, really, nothing. I would genuinely love to be a journalist.
Would you?
I would absolutely love it. I love to write. Have you ever heard me argue?
Yeah, you love to argue.
You should hear me go in about politics.
Oh, God, please.
Someone
change the subject.
I land in a good spot. Don't be worried. Okay. I'm not on the bad side.
Depending who you ask. Like, what?
I'm kidding.
Jackie's like, don't worry. I'm right.
I feel like I entered a realm that I don't want to be in.
Are you okay? Do you want to talk more about this? You, like, seem all worked up.
No, I think journalists do a great job. I just think that it's a farce.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Sometimes. Certain ones.
I just thought it was funny that, like, this cold email, unfortunately, I just think that, like, people do need to just take a step back and, like, look at who they're talking to, what they're sending out. Because I was like, okay, so you just sent me all my tweets and, like, this is, like, you're trying to convince me for, like, this service that, like, we would pay for, but, like, your examples were literally, like, things I put out into the world. Yeah. Insane.
Well, I was going to say that I feel like a lot of times people who are tasked with that, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping, because I would hope somebody high up isn't the one who made that mistake. But I feel like sometimes people, like, that sounds like the work of somebody who's overworked and was, like, tasked with sending this out and is like, you know what? I'm pulling this shit as quickly as I can and I'm sending it, which still isn't good. Like, if you're overworked and you're not going to do something accurately, like, learn how to, like, talk to your superiors. But it's also hard to learn how to do that.
It's so hard.
Like, because there's sometimes where, like, not so much anymore because I'm, like, past that stage, but, like, a few years ago where I'd be, like, genuinely overworked. I'd be, like, working, like, 12 hours a day but only clocking, like, 8 hours a day because I was scared to do overtime. And I was, like, scared to death of being, like, this is too much, because you don't want to sound like you don't want the work.
Yeah, and actually this could be a topic that is, like, a let's laugh about it now. Because I would do the same shit. Like, early on in your career, you want to show, like, that you're a hard worker and you can, like, take on anything. And, like, you understand that, like, your job is, like, if you just do your job, you could kind of get, like, stuck there. Or at least that's how it feels. So, like, you are willing to do, like, more work that might be outside of your scope. Yeah. To be able to, one, like, learn that role, but then two, show that you are, like, a hard worker.
Yeah. You can, like, break your back over it, and then you can kind of, depending on, like, I think it is super dependent on the company too, but, like, dependent on who you're working for, they could just be like, oh, so-and-so can produce so much work for, like, the same pay as, like, so-and-so. I was gonna say, you accidentally land your spot. You accidentally land yourself in a spot of being, like, taken advantage of. And I don't even think it's, like, the employers are realize it. Yeah. But you do, and I learned that throughout my career too, is just, like, you do have to set boundaries of, like, okay, like, if you're typically, like, if you're hired to work, like, a 9 to 5, like, try your best to, like, do as much as you can in that 9 to 5 and, like, set your boundaries and, like, do your best work 9 to 5. And if anything, like, falls outside of that, like, yeah, have that conversation with
so I used to, like, genuinely work, like, 12-hour days, but log out at 5 when I was supposed to. So I would work, like, an extra, like, 4 hours for free. That's insane. Every day. Yeah. Yeah. That's like my first, like, honestly, probably up until, like, 2 years ago, I was doing that. And I, like, the reason I stopped was because I was like, oh shit, like, now when I work a regular 8-hour day, it looks like I'm slacking. Yeah, yeah. You dig yourself into this hole. Yeah. Yeah. But then, like, it makes it look like you regressed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, and it's so important. And it's hard for people who are newer into their career. Like, I mean, it's probably hard for everyone, but, like, when you're trying to, like, prove something. Yeah. Yeah. And then it kind of makes other people look bad too. Well, I feel like,
it's a few different things, but sometimes like with the people that I like will train, when they don't have like the same work performance as me after like a few months, I'm like, I feel like I almost am hurting everybody who comes, not to make myself sound like so good at my job, but I feel like
you are good at your job,
I'm almost like hurting everybody that comes after me because they're constantly like, why aren't they saving this much or like producing this much? And I'm like, the standard is kind of like not realistic.
Yeah.
And it's because I lied about my time.
Oh. Jackie, but what goes around comes around. Like what you put out in the world comes back to you, so.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like that's mean of me to the new people.
It is kind of mean of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Accidentally.
They'll be okay though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to those new people.
Yeah. They're doing great.
They're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great, sweeties.
So, okay. Another, Jackie, this is, you can prepare for your next VA task. So, anyone who's listening to this on the Thursday that this comes out, we are streaming this live on Twitch right now. And actually, this is backtracking an old story, but I transitioned my gaming Twitch to my podcasting Twitch. So,
are you talking about how you're going to...
Mm-hmm. Yep, I am.
I should just let her say it, right?
Just let me say it.
I'm multitasking.
So a lot of my viewers are like into gaming and stuff, and I'm not sure if anyone's in the chat that wants to pitch in on this conversation, but would love to hear if anyone has an opinion on this. But FaZe Clan just sold to basically like, well, it's a company. If you want to pull up the article, they sold to like another gaming company, which is like kind of insane. So would love to hear. That's the one with the. Mm-hmm. I'm pulling up. Whoa.
Wait.
I don't think you're. I think you're not sharing. 1 second.
Whoa. Wait. Whose Instagram is? No, I wanted to show it just to show that in my bio I put boss of Zoe Kahn.
This is what Jackie was like chuckling about, right? Was this what you're chuckling about?
Yeah.
You're doing such a good job at being a VA.
Thanks.
Okay. So Chris Smith, he is a great resource if you want to learn anything about like esports and gaming. If you want to scroll up and like look at what his LinkedIn. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting hella messages on LinkedIn.
Should we look at them?
No, I mean there's nothing like inappropriate
Should we look at them
in
while
there.
we're sharing the screen?
But
what do you guys think? Should I bring up Zoe's messages while we're sharing the screen? How about her personal text messages?
You could bring those up. No, but
how about her FaceTime history?
All right, the VA needs a timeout.
The VA is out of control. The VA had a tequila shot. That's why the VA started passionately talking about journalism. I think that was like the tequila talking.
All right. So, anyways, I love my VA.
Thanks.
You're actually so fun.
She feels fine about you.
About who?
You said I love my VA, and I said thanks. She feels fine about you.
Oh, like the VA feels fine, just fine about me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you feel just fine about me.
Just fine.
All right, I'll note that. Oh, wait, okay, Zali, my dog,
Zali's having a bad dream or something.
She's having a bad dream right now. I can't, like, move on without mentioning that. Okay, so Game Square Holdings acquired FaZe Clan, and actually it sounds like they're going back to, like, their roots, because now the CFO, hold on, Game Square has been picking up ex-FaZe heavy hitters for some time now. CFO, CRO, VP of content. And then the original creators, Banks, has been announced as the CEO. So FaZe, and I don't want to speak like too much on it because I don't know like all the logistics of it. But FaZe
Banks.
Yeah, Jack?
A little throwback YouTube tea.
Okay.
He dated Alyssa Violet, and it was a big deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And who's Alyssa Violet? Okay, is she a YouTuber?
She actually, if you guys know everybody knows Jake and Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
She went to like the same high school as them, and so like that like somehow brought her into like the space, and then she dated FaZe for a while. But I could be talking out of my ass, but I don't know if he has the best reputation.
So
I think she accused him of some shit.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
FaZe has had this like weird, and you guys can like look this up, but there are some like weird things that happened with FaZe. Like if you Google some of like their like original creators, there has been some just like tea, especially in the like Bitcoin world. And I don't want to talk on it too much because again, I'm not like an expert on it, but FaZe kind of has had this like reputation of like weird things happening, that they're spending too much money, that they're not like actually making money. For those of you who like don't know like the gaming world and these like gaming organizations, they basically like have a bunch of creators who either like stream or make YouTube videos, or like they're into gaming, they're professional gamers, they're really good at the games. They basically have this like community of gamers, and like sometimes they'll live in like streamer houses and like all this stuff, but they'll sell like merch. They'll have like other companies like sponsor these like FaZe teams, and they make like money in like various ways through like sponsors and like selling merch and streaming and like all these things. So FaZe in the last like year, or maybe like 2 years, they like opened up this huge like FaZe warehouse that's like the headquarters of this like streaming like extravaganza of like, I don't know. They have it was like, it's like this crazy warehouse. It's in LA. They have like, I don't know. It's like insane. It's really beautiful. But you keep hearing things about like FaZe losing money, and like FaZe doesn't actually make money, and like FaZe is in debt. Like all these things. I was gonna say,
I've never even heard of GameSquare. Is it a big?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it, but honestly, a lot of things happen like in the background. It says owner of the future of sports. Life is a game.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the website right now.
They bought FaZe for $17 million, I believe.
Oh, they're a bunch of stuff. They're a talent.
Yeah.
Agency, consulting, media network, consumer products. Interesting.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to like go back to, I'm pretty sure FaZe like in the beginning, like obviously it's like successful enough to be known across all gaming. Like I think it's either I think it's still like considered like the number one like gaming organization, but so they obviously were very successful. So it sounds like they're going back to their roots, trying to fix things. They sold to this holdings company, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But Jack, do you want to go ahead and see if anyone in the chat has anything to say about it?
I've been watching.
Nobody has anything to say, huh?
Nobody has anything to say.
Okay. I actually I like 100 Thieves better. So 100 Thieves is I guess I shouldn't say I like them better, but actually, you know what? I can.
You can.
I do like 100 Thieves better.
Scream it from the rooftops. Maybe you'll get a sponsorship. 100
Thieves is another gaming organization that I actually just respect them for having like a good like e-commerce knowledge, which I guess doesn't matter that much because like that's not like the point of them. It's more of like a gaming organization.
Everything matters.
Yeah, you know what? Everything does matter. Yeah, so 100 Thieves actually owns, so they're like the same thing where they have like a bunch of creators in the gaming space, and that's like their main way of just being known. But they have like really good apparel. So they have like this apparel side of it, and they do really cool collabs, even with like the most random things you wouldn't think of, like golf. Like who would have thought that like you'd have like a golf and gaming collab?
Yeah.
It just like, it's really cool. They have High Ground is their keyboard company that they come out with different collabs and like limited edition like keyboards. My nerdy self like loves that.
What is that?
And then they also own Juvie. So
and
we
honestly,
talked about this.
I'm obsessed with this. You had these before, and you let me have one.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the green one.
I let you have one. It's so funny when you say stuff like that because it's like,
oh, well, I just mean because like obviously we buy green groceries, but I had the green one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what flavor it was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But it was so good, and this one is even better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a blue raspberry, like with the ghost ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like blue raspberry. This is really good though.
Yeah,
and I do notice the energy
Yeah, it's lower stimulant compared to like full size like energy drinks, but it's more targeted for like people who are gaming and who don't need to be like super hyped up because they're not like running laps or anything, but they're just like looking for like brain focus and energy.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm noticing more then.
Yeah, the nootropics in it. So I really like 100 Thieves. I am actually trying to get Francis on here. He works behind the scenes at 100 Thieves. Would love to hear his take. I don't know if he's allowed to talk about it, but we'll get him on here one day.
One of these days.
Jack, how are we doing on time? Because we have one more thing on the agenda.
We are doing great.
Okay.
Like, if you have one more thing on your agenda, that's perfect.
Okay, amazing. So
I worded my response that weird.
You're doing so good.
It being great could mean anything.
You're doing so good.
You're doing great in the way that if you have one more thing on your agenda, this is going to be the perfectly timed amount of podcast.
You're the best VA out there. Okay, so last week's podcast, we randomly talked about me going to Australia, being in quarantine, not being happy with the food that they were giving me, not having choices. I was in a bad mental state. So Jackie said, you have to post the video of you crying, eating chicken. So we clipped it up and we did. So we're going to play this for you. And then I have some things to address about it.
Okay. I'm going to share my handy dandy screen.
Yeah, she is.
You guys know how it goes. Okay. Instagram's annoying on the computer and it starts from like wherever. I'm just gonna really quick refresh this mother effer. Oh, and then of course it's muted. See, that's why it's give her chicken wings with bones in it, and she sent us videos of her crying, and you have to post a video of that on your podcast Instagram.
On today's episode, for lunch, this chicken has bones in it, and I don't like that.
She doesn't.
I didn't think I wouldn't have an option to choose from boneless or non-boneless, and I tried to eat them, I can't. I feel like such a baby.
Zoe doesn't like when there's bones in her food, and they would only give her chicken wings with bones. But the funny part about all of this is the comments are so out of control.
Okay, I'm going to read some of the comments.
I'm just going to keep the video playing for fun.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, Zoe commented saying embarrassing.
She's such a bad daughter.
Zoe is unhinged on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know why this upsets me so much. Bruh, just eat it. Who the F is this and why am I supposed to care?
I love that one. I love when people comment on videos and are like, who is this person and why am I supposed to care? Like, I don't know. No one asked you to care. Like, who are you and why am I supposed to care?
Jackie, this gets a little explicit, so we're gonna have to like rate this. Jackie gets a little bit like, what do you call it?
Like
defensive over me.
Yeah.
She responded to that guy and said,
that was back to the guy who said, who is this and why am I supposed to care?
Yep. She said, did your dick get bigger after commenting this?
That's my new favorite comeback. Like, whether you're saying it to like somebody with a dick or somebody that doesn't have a dick, it's the best comeback. Like, when somebody says something mean that like clearly is just to make themselves feel better, I love just being like, did your dick just double in size? Like, do you feel that much better? Fucking losers.
And they replied to Jackie saying, yes. So
yeah, I like that they responded. They said yes.
Also, these are just like random people that are like, I have no idea who these people are. This one was a good one, actually. There's no hate towards this one. I loved it. For science, I'm curious, is this before, during, or after her cycle? That was a great comment.
That was a good comment.
Why can't she eat food with bones? And why is she crying? Was she beaten with bones or something? She's never been in a fight in her life. Like, what does that have to... I haven't, actually. So
kind of valid.
Imagine carrying this much. So much wasted energy on chicken wings.
But see, then I would say, why... I imagine carrying that much to make that comment.
Yeah. This is unhinged behavior at its finest. Just be vegan already. Holy hell.
Just be vegan already.
I'd be so embarrassed posting this. Not girl dinner. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And then there were some nice ones. I'm upset too. If I'm hungry and I don't eat anything with bones, it would probably upset me to be presented with boned meat. It's completely reasonable for her to cry. I feel her pain. Thank you, sister. People out here starving, and she's crying over food with bones. If you eat meat, they come with animals from animals with bones.
This is what annoys me when I was kind of talking about earlier. Like, that is so true. Like, there are people who don't have food, and like the fact that you're crying over it, like, is kind of insane. But obviously, you know that. Like, it's just like a funny thing. Like, we're allowed to like joke about things.
I know. I was like, am I about to get canceled because I posted a video of me crying over this food?
You could.
I could get canceled. I do understand that, like,
that it's insane.
It is insane.
That's why it's funny though.
Yeah, it's funny, and like, there's so many things that you cry about in your life that you're like, this is a first world problem. I shouldn't be crying about this. Like, even for example, like, you get into a car accident and your car gets totaled. You cry about it, and then people are like, oh, well, like, there's people out here who don't have cars.
Yeah, or like my car got towed and I had to pay like $500 when it was all said and done. It was $500 that I technically had. I clearly got my car out of the tow. But I didn't really have it. Like, I didn't buy groceries for like 3 weeks, like, legit, because it like put me out. I understand that there's people that like would get their car towed and actually wouldn't even have a way they can access $500. So like, I get that. Like, but how upset was I? I was so crying upset for like a week about that.
Yeah, you were hella annoying.
Yeah, I'm sure I was.
No, but like, that's the thing is, like, also they didn't understand the mental state that I was in. I hadn't seen a living being.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen another human for almost 2 weeks, and I was literally going crazy.
And humans aren't like made to be like that.
No, we are social creatures, and we're not supposed to be alone.
Yeah.
She does realize she can take the bones out, right?
But you don't want to touch the bones.
I don't want to touch them. See, this is the thing. I'll eat it if someone will take it off the bone for me.
You, yeah.
And like, I don't know what it is about bones. I just like, but I don't know. Yeah, we could have a whole other conversation.
I get it. I'm like that with sour cream.
How about this one? America takes another L. The whole country, because of me, takes an L.
Yeah, like, it's not that deep. I do want to make it super clear, and I think we can all agree. It's dramatic as fuck.
It is dramatic. But that's why it's funny. That's why it's funny. This one says, we are fucking doomed.
Okay. If this is why we're doomed and it's not like because of a million other things, like an orange was our president once, like, there's other reasons why we're doomed. Like, come on, please. I can edit that out if you want.
No, you can keep it in. Okay. Why would you post something like this online? Don't you have any self-respect?
Self-respect.
Yep. So just really wanted to give those comments some attention because we love our fans.
Yeah. Whether they hate us or love us.
So on that note,
I don't know why I'm saying us. I'm not the one who was crying about chicken wings.
Oh yeah, you can't be associated. You don't want to be associated with that, huh? Yeah.
I'll eat a chicken wing.
I was like, you know how you can respond to videos with like a reel? One of them says like, be a real woman and eat some bone or some, I don't know, wings with bones in it.
So that's what makes a real woman now, eating wings with bones.
I might not say, it says something like that. But it says like, just eat some bones already. And I wanted to go to like Wingstop and order like boneless wings and like eat them like as the response to it. So Wingstop, please sponsor us, bones and boneless.
That would be like, let's manifest a Wingstop sponsorship.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I just wanted to note, I don't know why I said without, or how did I word it? Like bone in. No, I said, how did I say it? Wait, play it back. You're not sharing the screen.
To choose from boneless or non-boneless.
Non-boneless,
and
I said.
I tried to eat them, I can't.
Like, why didn't I say bone in? I said non-boneless.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, Anyways, that's kind of all we got today for Let's Laugh About It. Thank you so much for all of the love on the launch.
It was so good.
It was so good, and I was like so scared because I'm like starting something new is scary.
Yeah.
So don't forget to rate this and review it on Spotify. One of our goals is to get up to 200 listeners. That's when you can like be a legitimate podcast and monetize and stuff. Thank you to our sponsor, Inevitable Agency, for sponsoring and funding this podcast.
Use code what for Chomps?
Use code ZOE15, ZOE15, for 15% off Chomps.
And how do they contact Inevitable Agency if they want to use
DM me. We're doing a website refresh, so we have a Google form that you can like apply for, but you could just DM me if you want any information. We're revamping the website. It's under construction. It's going to be so cute when it's done, but revamping it. And then what was our other plug?
Your newsletter?
My newsletter. You can sign up for my newsletter on my Twitter or DM me if you want a link. And then, I just wanted to tell everyone you can also watch us on YouTube. And like on YouTube, there's the podcast, but then you can also watch my days in the life, which I've been having a really fun time putting out. We do them. I say we because Jackie's like in them. Yeah. Either I'm talking about her
like
constantly.
Here, so it's like a we situation.
Yeah, everything is we. Either I'm talking about her constantly or she's in the videos. So I'm saying we post them about once a week. I was doing them on Fridays, but since these podcasts launch on Thursdays, I'm switching to Mondays. So we just posted one today. So
even out the week of content.
Yep. Zoe Kahn, ZOEKAHN. You can look that up on YouTube. We'll put that in the show notes as well. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next Thursday.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Don't forget to laugh about it. Ha 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 ha. Jackie, now that you have the computer in front of you, you have to press on stream.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.